New videos every day.
Have you ever known somebody who kind of makes you feel small or makes less of you? Maybe they make remarks that are a bit snide and you don't feel that great afterwards. Or, they're always joking, and as long as you're not the subject of the joke, it's pretty funny until it actually is directed towards you. Maybe somebody who is very nice and then, nice to another person, and then when they walk away, they just turn back and just start talking all sorts of crap about them. I actually know this guy. He was a friend of a friend, and I was having a get-together one weekend, and he was coming over. He was laughing, cracking jokes, which was fine. It was all fun and games. And actually, a friend of mine got into a really bad car accident, and he was walking with like a kind of limp. And the guy just went on and on about the gimp jokes and was calling him a gnome and just saying all these things which were pretty hurtful, even though everyone was kind of laughing about it. And it was just really mean. The stress levels can actually affect your health. And if you have a lot of stress in your life, your health and well-being will basically go down the toilet. And I have an aunt, for example. We were at a family reunion, and there was another guy there, and she just went on and on about how he had to be a better parent, and he had to do something with his life, and all that. And I'm sure she thought that she was helping and all, but she was doing it in front of everybody. And I'm sure he didn't feel that great about that. I mean, it's embarrassing, first of all. And just like my friend, I'm sure he didn't like being made fun of because he had a limp. I mean, he was just in a car accident. And I just really feel that sometimes if you have a lot of stress because people are making fun of you, then you really don't feel good. I have a friend named Mike, and one day he gave me very good advice. He said, pay attention to which friends you hang out with that make you feel good and which friends you hang out with which make you feel bad. Now, I actually think I'm going to start doing that because, you kind of have to think about it. Let's say you're with this guy and he has lots of problems and he makes fun of you and he brings you down, and you go home and you feel like you just had a horrible, rotten day. And then you hang out with another person and you feel uplifted, you really had a good conversation going, and you feel like everything went good. So, if you have the choice between the two friends, the one that makes you feel bad or the one that makes you feel good, I think you can kind of distinguish which one you'd rather go with. I have a friend named Denise, and she's a really cool friend. And one day, for example, I was having a pretty rough day. I had a bunch of things to do, and didn't feel like I could really overcome what was going on. And she invited me out to dinner, so we went out to dinner, and I was talking to her, and she asked me, why are you so quiet? And I was talking to her, and it was just great just to have somebody sit there, listen, just really be there for you as a friend. And I really feel like my stress, because of all the work problems and everything, just kind of went away. And I also know that whether I'm having a good day, whether I'm having a bad day, it doesn't really matter. We're just always going to have a good time together. In contrast, I know this person who used to be a friend of mine, and every time I'm with him, I just feel horrible, like I'm not enough. And for example, one day I was over, friend of a friend, and we were sitting there, playing a game or something, and he was telling me how he did all of this and he had this much money and he was completely out of debt, and I should really listen to him on what he's doing because the way I'm handling things isn't right. And it just made me feel horrible. And then he started saying how, I shouldn't, be so friendly, and I should just try to, be very strict with people if they're doing something wrong. He was just kept on loading me with all this responsibilities and how I'm supposed to do this and I'm not doing this right and I'll never get this right and things like that. And when I look into the past, when I hung out with him or we went out to lunch, every day it seemed like I was just being put down and I just felt like my self-esteem lowered and everything was not going good. And now I can kind of predict that whenever I know that when I hung out with him, that son of a bitch just completely brought me down. I think we as people really don't pay sometimes enough attention to who makes us feel good and who makes us feel bad. And I think I'm actually going to take that advice. I want less stress in my life. I'm sure you guys do. And I'm just thinking of going over my friends and seeing who makes me feel good and who makes me feel bad. And I just want to find out what you guys thought. Are there people you hang out with who make you feel bad? And are there people you hang out with who make you feel good? I honestly believe that there are two kinds of people. There are decent, generally very helpful people, and then there's also harmful, hateful, and just destructive people that try to belittle everyone. And I think that you can probably find somebody in your life who tries to put you down, maybe is harmful to themselves or harmful to others. I don't know why they're like that. I do think that they are insecure, and in order for them to feel important, they have to make you feel unimportant. In order for them to be right, you have to be wrong. And for their worldviews to be right, if your worldviews are different, then you're wrong. And they spend so much time, making themselves right at the expense of others. I think that the majority of people out there are very decent people and they just want to be left alone. And these destructive guys, they won't leave them alone because they've got to be right. And they just keep on going on and on about how they're right and the good, decent people are wrong. So if somebody was going to organize their life, then they would take the people with the most positive influences and keep them close and just completely avoid all those guys who are very negative. Then I think they would actually be very happy. And I think I'm actually going to try this. And I'm just wondering if you guys ever experience this, please let me know, post a blog, whatever. I just want to know what you think.